privileged enough to have known Sven for the last 17 years. And I figure as is tradition with being the best man and getting up here and getting to talk about my relationship with Sven over the past almost 20 years, I take the opportunity to describe for Megan's education and everyone else's education what kind of a guy Sven is. And if I could sum up who Sven is in one sentence, it would be, who the hell is this guy? It's a question that's come across my mind so many times over the past 20 years. For example, Sven was one of the lucky ones, or the only lucky one in our group in high school to have a car, or access to a vehicle. Whether it was his old Dodge Shadow, or his dad's kind of beat up, windowless cargo van that looked like we were using it for abductions. He was the one driving us around. Unfortunately, Sven wasn't the best driver, so he had X number of tickets on his record. And one day while we were driving past one of the movie theaters that we worked at, Sven and I, while we were in high school, there were a few of us in the car, and some of the bridal party today was getting kind of razzing Sven, hoping he would shed a little bit of a tear on this special occasion, and he didn't, because who's seen Sven cry? We always see Sven with a smile on his face. But while we were driving in the car that one day in the afternoon, a cop pulled us over and Sven was speeding, as usual. So what happened as soon as the cop approached the window? Sven busted out into full-blown tears like a little girl. I've never seen this happen, I've never seen it happen since. Because he was weeping like a small child, the cop let him off, and Sven was okay. He didn't lose his license, he would have lost his license if he didn't cry like that. So as soon as the officer was out of earshot, Sven just went, stone face, smiling. And I thought to myself, who the hell is this guy? The biggest little girl I've ever met? Or is he, when it comes down to it, he'll do whatever it takes. He'll cry in front of his buddies in high school if he's in a pickle. Another time in high school, Sven gave me a call around 11 o'clock at night. And Megan, you're Sven's true love, but he had a first love. And that was Brittany. But it was only because of her musical talent, and it was like nothing to do with her provocative dance moves or sex appeal. He claimed it was all purely innocent. So he gave me a call one night at 11 o'clock, it was like a Monday, and he was so excited. He'd just gotten out of the Britney Spears concert. I think he went by himself. And he was so excited and so jazzed because he'd just gotten the new Britney Spears CD that came out the next day. And the cashier gave it to him and said, she's probably just telling because he looked like a happy little Dutch boy. Oh, you're the first one in Canada to get the new Britney Spears CD. And this was his proudest moment in his whole life, up until today. And I thought to myself, who the hell is this guy? The most flamboyant Dutch boy I've ever met. Or just somebody who's just so happy-go-lucky and he's just so content with himself that every day he's got a smile on his face. And I've kind of gone in a little bit of reverse order here. I first met Sven in 1997, and at that point, when we first started in high school, and he worked with me at Wendy's actually, and then he moved on to Montana's. I'm not sure how many of you know that. He worked in Montana's as a manager for a few years before getting into finance. And again, someone called me one day, and he said, oh, you know what happened yesterday? We were closing the store down like 11:30 at night, and somebody knocked on the back door of the kitchen. So I went over there and opened the door, and two guys bursted in with masks and guns. And actually held them up at gunpoint, demanding that Sven open the safe, put the employees in the freezer, and stay with Sven. And put Sven on the ground and said, tell us what the combination of the safe is so we can get that money. And Sven, doing whatever all of us would do, said, I don't know the combination to the safe. Over and over again, and then the burglars just decided to run off and leave, luckily. So he called me up and I said, who the hell is this? The dumbest person on the planet, or the most loyal person you'll ever meet. He was worried about Montana's losing $2,000. So As I mentioned, I met Sven in 1997 when we first started school, grade 9. And at this high school, it was kind of known as a little bit of a nerd school. We went to, a whole bunch of us, at some of these tables up here, went to a nerd camp, leading up to the first day of school, so that we'd all kind of meet some other nerds and know people before we started school. So on the first day, we sat down in the cafeteria. Some of the guys that we met, there were about five, 6, or 7 of us, and we sat down in the cafeteria. We all knew each other, so it was good. You didn't have to worry about meeting new friends. And everyone was there. We all knew each other, except for one guy who just kind of sat down and joined us. And he was sitting there, not really saying anything. And again, it wasn't just me, but it was all the other guys were like, "Who the hell is this guy?" And it was just then I sat down and said, "Hey guys, I'm your friend now, so get used to it." And what better way is there when you're in high school, a bunch of guys, to show your affection or fondness for someone than giving them a nickname? So Sven has a whole bunch of nicknames. That's why I have this big piece of paper up here. Show how much everybody has kind of come to accept him, not only as a member of our group and as our real good friend, he kind of became the core of that group. And everybody circles around him because of his personality and his good nature. So he's kind of become this unwanted intruder and turned himself into the man of a million nicknames, which include Big Pun, Punisher, Big Spender, Coach Billy, Cheese Balls, Van Donkey, Big Baby, Rapido, Herr Lehmanns, Peacecock, Vanders, the I Care Diary, 680 News, Santa, Baby Lehmanns, Vanderballs, Sleemans, Scamp, I like that one, and finally, just Lehmanns. So who the hell is Sven Lehmanns? He's the most loyal person, Megan, you'll ever meet. He's somebody who, when it comes down to it, he's going to cry like a little baby to make sure you're okay. And he's going to sacrifice everything every day just to make you happy. So cheers to the happy couple.